Welcome, everyone. It is in fact Wednesday. We're back. It's Wednesday once again. This is today's image. It's me. Anyway, welcome Stream Elements, welcome Tagbarrow, welcome JD, welcome Zoe, Lunatic Lurker, Foley. We're trying out picoCAD 2. That's right, a new 3D modeling software has released recently. You can purchase it on sale right now for this amount of money. And I have in fact purchased this. I've never even launched the program. Wow, look at that. That's picoCAD 2. Welcome Holloway. Have I tried the first one? I have not tried the first one. I don't know anything about how to use this program. But I've seen some people post some cool looking things. You know, you can make something like this. You can make a truck. You can make a pirate. A GameCube. Now the first one was pretty impressive because it was made in Pico 8, which has many limitations. This one is not made in Pico 8. It's actually made in Love 2D. But I guess they kept Pico in the name because it's like, you know, it's like the sequel to the first one. Manuals and tutorial are for suckers. There's probably like some guide to how to use it. Have I ever 3D modeled? Yes, I've 3D modeled before. I tried a long time ago to learn Blender, and I was not good at it. I was very confused, and yes. But then I also learned how to use, what's that program called? Crocodile 3D. That's pretty cool. And it was pretty neat. Actually, I wonder if I can find the files that I made back in the day. Let's see. I made, hold on. I probably, no, I still have it installed. Hold on. I could just open it up. Welcome C. Poland. Crocodile. Yes, I still have this installed. Oh, I have to update it. Can I not update it? Can I use my current installed version? Can I simply launch my existing software without updating? What if I don't want to? What if I don't want to update it? Can I show the current path? Open. Duh, which one? Which one's installed? This one? Okay, that one. I will show you. Yes. That's I'll download it later. I don't know if it's compatible. Recency. Okay, these are the things that I've made. Okay, example. I forgot all the controls for this program. Is left click, shift. I don't know. It's been forever. I made this. I made this. How do I rotate the camera? It's probably, oh no, what have I done? Middle click, control middle click, shift middle click. What? It's been so long. What do I do? Camera? I guess we're not rotating the camera. Okay, we load recent scene. Unsave changes. Sure, that's fine. Here's Nanodan as a crocodile. I don't know how to rotate the camera, so you're gonna look at it from below. And then we got web fishing. I copied the colors from web fishing. There's a creature of some kind. Some kind of creature. There's fishing. What is this? Oh yeah, this is the lake. This is the lake from when I used to do VR fishing. And I never actually finished this, but there's a big lake. And then, what is example? Oh, that was the first one. Is that all the ones that I've done? Let's see, load scene. Creature, fishing, example, dog. What is small? Oh yeah, I could not figure out how to do like like how to model like a real thing. this was my attempt at doing one, and then I gave up. And then what is this one? Oh yeah, this was another attempt that I failed at. And then let's see, is that all of them? Fishing? What's fishing 2? What's the difference? Why is fishing 2 here? I don't really know what fishing 2 is, but that's there. Welcome Pandas, yes, they made a second picoCAD. A second picoCAD has hit the itch.io homepage. It's there, it's real. Fishing 2, creature, dog, example. Anyway, that's Crocodile 3D. But we're not using Crocodile 3 today. We're using picoCAD. Alright, this one. Alright, so what do we do? How do we use picoCAD? Well, there's like cameras. You could, what is that? You can add, okay, you can add shapes. Is that a cube? Classic cube. I think these are top down, side view, something. You can drag vertices around and you can notice the camera over here gets changed. How sensitive are 9/11 jokes? How sensitive to 9/11 jokes are New Yorkers usually? I don't know, it usually depends who you ask. I don't know, I feel like it's been long enough ago that I don't really care. But I'm sure there are some people that'd be like, I can't believe that you would say such a thing. The person I know who makes the most 9/11 jokes is a New Yorker. Is it Bodega Rent? Because I know she does that. She does in fact do that. Alright, so this is a cube. It is, I knew it. I know jokes. I've heard some jokes before in my lifetime. Okay, this. How do you... Okay, what do I want to model? That's the first question, is what do I want to model? Now, you might think rat, because that is a thing that is often modeled, but I think that's a bit complicated. As someone who doesn't know how to model things in general, like to start off with something as complex as a rat, I don't know. You could also, I guess could you also grab vertices from here? A donut? No, that's a blender. Okay, that's a different thing. It's totally a different software. All right, how do I rotate this camera? How did I rotate the camera? Okay, you left click to rotate this camera. Like sometimes, okay, you can, sometimes you can, okay, you can't though. How do you, I guess you can't grab it from this view, you have to grab it from one of these views. Alright, so let's see. You can like extrude faces by doing this, right? You can make it longer or shorter. You could even skew it slightly. Donut, yeah, you can't make donuts in other software. You can only do that in Blender, obviously. Alright, what if I start off making a truck? You know, trucks are pretty simple. If you compare, oh, what if I make what if I make a Game Boy? You know, that should be easy enough, right? A Game Boy that's relevant to stuff that I've done. I think that'd be pretty cool. Let's make a Game Boy. So which direction is forward? Because I gotta make sure that it's facing the right way. And this, if I extend this, okay, so this is forward. I assume this is forward. I guess I can look at these views. Hold on. So this, they made a Nintendo DS in this. And so this is side view facing right. Okay, this is their view. So this is the front view. Or back view. So if I extend this, okay, so this will be the Game Boy right here. You can move it down so it's centered. 1980s trucks are just 3 rectangles stuck together. Is this true? All right, and then side view. I believe this is probably side view. And then this is top down. Wait, hold on. Is that side view? This is side view. And then this is top down view. But shouldn't top-down view, is it rotated? Should I have instead done it like the other way? Should I have done it like this? Because like this looks right, right? This. Wait, but then if this is front view, maybe I need to start over. Can I make a new one? New. Continue, yes. Don't save. New. Continue without saving, yes. Alright, so it has reset the view. And then if I add a... That's pent, is it? No, that's a pentagon. Add cube. Okay. So, how does CAD software work? CAD software views. Is this based on the standard views of CAD software? Has anyone used CAD software before? Anyone remember? So this here. Welcome Ilarezi. Maybe there's no standard. Maybe there is no standard way to do it. What if we just look up picoCAD? Used to do SolidWorks. Pentagon had the front and bottom right. What if we just look at this tutorial? I know this is picoCAD 1, but presumably there are similarities. Oh, what about this one? Okay, they're making a truck. And this here is the front view. Okay, so this is facing the right. Bottom left is facing right. This one, the front view is in the bottom. Okay. So if you extend this one, and then if it's facing right, then it'll be like this. Welcome Deep Freeze. Never used CAD software, it's expensive. Closest I've used was 1999 version of 3D Studio Max. Well, I majored in electrical engineering. And we, at some point, I guess it wasn't really for electrical engineering. It was for like a general purpose engineering stuff when we first started. We had to use AutoCAD, I think. That was something. Okay, so this is not, it is top down but facing the right view. I see, that makes sense. Okay, so now we need the screen. We need a screen in here. How do I cut out the shape here? Face properties, mesh properties. No, let's go back. How do you go back? I did the same major. Did I do Visi and physical design? I don't think I did. I designed like a piston in SolidWorks, I think. That was a thing. How do I cut out a square? How do I do that? Extrude, but like it's not extruded though. VLSI is chipped. Oh, there's a spam bot. Top viewers at a website? No way. Face properties. Double-sided. Draw behind. Is there a way to do like aren't there like Boolean operations that you can do? You could like make a shape and then like push it into the object and then say like Boolean not operation. Maybe that's not a thing in here. I guess I could, if I wanted to not do that. I could simply... Can I subdivide this? How do you do it? How do you subdivide a shape? picoCAD 2. Mesh properties. Maybe it's too advanced. Maybe it's not even possible. I would like to add... Maybe I need to watch a tutorial. You know, let me watch a tutorial. picoCAD 2 tutorial. Welcome, Namington. It needs to be specifically picoCAD 2. picoCAD 2 basics in 5 minutes. Sign it. Oh, come on. Just sign in to prove I'm not a bot. No, this is a React stream now. My first thought is always the extruder tool in ceramics, which is pretty much what it says on the tin. Yeah, it extrudes things. Do you see that flash? Alright, this is an official video. We're not gonna listen to the audio, we're simply gonna look at the subtitles. Alright, so what do you do? Make a new thing. Say you got export shortcuts. You can set up shortcuts for your application. There's a there's a manual on the website. They have front and bottom left. No, surely that's different, right? Then why do the other ones have it in a different way? Hold on. Okay, so you can add shapes, which I've learned. You can do that. You can move things around. In the camera view, you can rotate the camera, zoom in. Press space to go, but 3D view also has some buttons. Oh, okay, we're in wireframe mode, but you can render it in a different way. Let's try doing that. Oh, look at that, our shape is green. We have a green shape. You can toggle shading if you don't want shading to be enabled. You can change the color palette if you would like. Oh, and you can restore. Oh, that's good to know. You can restore the camera view. Okay. Left mouse button is used for simple interactions. Right mouse button is used to access more complex ones. Use the mouse and left mouse button to move meshes around. It has snapping on by default to make it easier to align meshes. You can hold control for more fine control. You can rotate, scale, you can hold T. You can set various properties. Experiment, modify, vertices. Click and drag, I've done that. Welcome Nutritious. You can select multiple vertices by holding down Shift, as common in other software. You can also right click for more options, which I've done. I've done this. Okay, and then you can open an overview to see the things you've made. So we've created a cube and it is there. It's no longer a cube though. It's a shape that has been modified from a cube. You can create folders. You can merge things, and then what? You can look at texture mode. We're not at that point yet. This is advanced stuff. You can draw on the texture map. Change the color. You can set the UV shapes. You can do animations. Okay, but I want to know how to model something. Do you think this thing will tell us how to do it? picoCAD. Look at this stuff. You could make this stuff. Whoa, what the hell did they do that? You could make a Rubik's Cube. A hand? No way. A truck? Alright, so they're simply dragging things around. They make it look so easy. You can make a room. I want to know how they made that TV. That's my question. I'd like to watch a walkthrough of them making this. But using Blockbench, I used Blockbench for one stream. I thought it was neat. Make vacuum Sugar Quest 64. No way. You can animate stuff. picoCAD 2. What if I just watch a tutorial? picoCAD 2. You can make a Venusaur in picoCAD 2. Let's watch this person. Let's steal this person's content. Let's react. This is now a react stream. Oh no, this is so fast. I want to see if they ever do like a thing where they subdivide something, because I don't know how to do that. Because it seems like once you create a shape, it's just like that, right? Like, how do you add more vertices to something? Is that even possible? Do you just, once you make the shape, you're just stuck with it forever? Wait, how did they do that? No, yeah, that's just the same shape. It appears you just make a shape. We have to know how to adjust the shape. Right? Cylinder. And this stuff. Alright, what about this one? I guess we don't need to like extrude the shape. It could simply just be, we could just draw the texture of the Game Boy screen. Maybe that's fine. You can extend faces when hovered over one, or right-click extend. Extend. Extrude. Well, I mean, like, I want to like cut out a square so that I can like inset it inside, if that makes sense. So you know how the Game Boy screen's like this, but then it's like pushed in like a little bit? I could like I could extrude this whole face. Oh, wait, how do I choose? How do I choose how far to extrude it? I guess you can't. I guess you have to do this and then... Wait, can I set it back inside? Wait, oh, oh no, you can't. Okay, that's how you do it. You can simply just do this, but then I want it to be not like that. Okay, what if we have it out here, and then okay, but then I can like extrude again. Maybe extrude again. And then, okay, now that we have an extruded face, you can now have this one. Oh no, but what is this? What have I done? Maybe I don't do that. Wait, what? Why is it like this? Oh, because I didn't select all of them. Okay, hold on. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. Extrude it again. Okay, now that we've extruded it, what you could maybe do is this. You could maybe go like this, and then you do the same thing there. It's got to be a better way, right? But you could have it go, oh, but now it's like this. It's not what I want. I mean, I guess that's something. But okay, but then maybe it's not like that. Maybe it's actually like different. It is kind of hard to use. Possibly by design. It's meant to be minimalistic. I don't think this is okay. Hold on, wait. Hold on. What if it was like? No, that's not. Wait, that's kind of, that's something, right? It's not exactly what I intended, but I mean, it is something. I feel like if you showed this to a 3D modeler, they'd be like, "What the heck? What is he doing? He doesn't even know what he's doing. Look at these vertices are all messed up." Alright, maybe this is too complicated. Let's just not have the face be extruded. Let's get our basics in here. Okay, so a Game Boy, specifically the bottom right is like a little bit beveled in. So what I would like to do is to somehow subdivide it here so that I could like push this here, right? It's currently it's being pushed like this. Merge all of them. I have to know how people are doing things. Because, like, surely there's, like, a better way to do it. I know this is a tutorial for picoCAD 1, but I would assume that there are many similarities. You can clone the mesh. You can move things around, rotate them. Rotate things. Wait, what did they just do here? Basics. Press R. Okay, so they're rotating with R or T, which we don't need to do yet. But that's how they do this. You can scale the object. And then click to move. You can drag. You can select multiple vertices. Press Ctrl Z to undo modeling. Okay, modeling. You can color things. Move stuff around like this. They've made a car. Wait, how did they do this? They've created 3... Oh no, okay, so they just extrude. They extrude. And once you extrude, you have different sides. You can just press E on a face to extrude it. Maybe I gotta think in terms of extruding things. So if I were a 3D modeler, how would I extrude this such that I could make a thing here? Good question. Good question. Good question, everyone. What if we extruded this and then start with the screen and extrude the case around it? Surely there's a better way, right? There's gotta be. Like if I did this. I guess I could. Wait, hold on. I could do it like this. What if I like did this and then I went here and then I extruded this. And now if I wait, I guess this is fine, right? This is kind of like what a Game Boy would look like. I guess this works. It's like this. Okay. this is kind of like a Game Boy. Now we have to like center it. I think is the minimum you can scale this much. Maybe I should make the model bigger. Or is there a way to zoom in? I guess I could scale everything, right? Scale. Scale. Mesh properties. I guess you could just press S. S to scale? No, S brings it down. Okay, S is for WASD. I guess maybe this is fine. Alright, so this is a Game Boy, and then you can add buttons. Okay, you know, let's just add the screen as a separate thing. Is it U and T? U. Shortcuts. Modeling. Oh wait, face prop. What is face props? Face props, color, double side. Okay, that's a different thing. Extrude face, delete face, mesh props, copy paste. Wait, what is vertex tool? Rotate UVs, zoom level. I'm pressing buttons. Oh, I guess this would be in this view. This is for a different thing. Like, I guess here you could draw various things. You could adjust this in such a way that you could make the screen. So what is our current texture? Is this assigned to anything? I would have thought that drawing on this thing would update this thing, but maybe this is assigned somewhere else. Maybe I need to save this. It doesn't save it. And why is it saved as a TXT file? Does picoCAD just use TXT files? Base properties. If I draw on this, it doesn't update. If I do this, it does not update. Maybe I should just follow the tutorial. You can move vertices, make it look like a car. Okay, then yes, it looks like a car. It does look quite like a car. And then they add the wheels. Oh, but this is different. This is picoCAD 1. Welcome, Hemp. It turns out this is quite complicated. I thought it would be so simple, but it's actually not so simple. Also, what is this? What are you seeing? What is that thumbnail? The Venusaur. Venusaur time-lapse. picoCAD 2. picoCAD 2. See, the unfortunate thing is, like, since this thing is so new, there's not many videos about it. So, like, I have to be the one to find out how to do things. And many of these are returning picoCAD 1. Hey, that's me. That's me. What? That's my stream. Wait, I want to see how does this guy do it? Looks like this guy's just watching tutorials, man. Unbelievable. Okay, making Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII. So they're making shapes, rotating. Maybe I need to think more in terms of like basic shapes, because like what I'm doing now is that I'm making a big shape and then forming that shape in such a way that I move the vertices around and like try to do things. But what if it was actually, if I just started from many shapes and then I assemble the many shapes? Perhaps. But also I want to see how they color things, because hold on, let's go back here. When did they start coloring things? Because when I update this thing, it doesn't update. How do they do it? When do they start drawing things? Alright, you have colors, you have a fully featured pixel art editor. You can draw textures straight onto your faces in real time. Rectangle, circle tools have 2 stages. You can also make filled shapes. If you want to change the palette, okay, I just want to see them like assign the face to something. Welcome, Amplo. Each face can be individually textured. Select the UV tool. Click the face you want to texture. Okay. Select the UV tool. Click the face. This one. This one. Okay. And then you can decide where to put it. Okay. So if I, but like it's not put there. No, it's not. Oh, is it because I'm in a different shading mode? No. Color palette. Oh, wait. Oh, it's being rendered. I see. It's not using this as, okay. So this is unshaded. This is like not using textures. Okay, so now it's using this. Right, and then you select the face. You can choose to have it assigned to different colors. And then if I want to update this so that it has the face of a Game Boy, you can update this as well to point here. And then, let's see, we update, let's make it like this. And then if you draw on it, you can make your screen. You should probably use the rectangle tool. Okay, but it's actually the wrong way, though. That's the thing. It's actually the wrong way. So I think there's a way you can rotate it, right? Mesh properties, No, how do you rotate? There's a button. Someone, they said it somewhere. You can move around each UV if you want finer control. Let's put something more interesting on the cube. Okay, they did this. Sometimes you need to rotate the texture. This can be done by pressing R or right-clicking. Okay, you can right-click. You click on this, right-click. Ah, I see. Okay, so now, now it looks like this. Now it's like this, but now we need this face to not be using this. This one needs to be using this, perhaps. Welcome X tag. Can you rotate a Game Boy in your mind? I sure can. Now the issue is that this face is assigned like this, whereas I want it to be the whole thing, but with part of it cut off. That's my issue. Is there a good way to do this? Do I simply just change this so that it's like this? And then update this one to be the other one? Surely there's a better way, right? Clearly it's not just not intended to do it like this. Okay, so this one you can rotate. I guess that kind of works, right? But then if I did it like this, that does work, but I feel like this is not how you're supposed to do it. This one, what if it was like this? This feels wrong. Whatever. This is the first model. It doesn't have to be good. It just has to be something. Okay, and then you have the D-pad. Now I could make the D-pad a separate object instead of just painting onto it so it's not like a flat shape. I think I'll do that. You know, I think I will do that. Simply because we are learning how to do things. Alright, so we have this. We want to add a new shape. A cube, perhaps. And then we check. Which one is this? Welcome Denchi, thank you for the 48 months. That is in fact a multiple of 12, which is significant in various ways. Congrats on achieving a multiple of 12. It's her birthday. But then this is where I say it's actually not birthday because it's one index. The first month that you pay for it is the first month, blah blah blah. So really next month will be the birthday. But I guess this will be pretty close to it. Okay, so this one is a Game Boy. You can't say that. No, no, no. And this one is the D-pad. Alright, so now we want to focus on the D-pad. We can lock the Game Boy. And now we focus on this. And I wish there was, okay, you can hide it. Can I hide it from the wireframe view, but not hide it from this view? Because I want to see like what the size is relative to the other stuff. But maybe I can't do that. Okay, so this will be quite small. It'll be like maybe this big. These pads. Got them. Alright, so it's like this. It is extruded quite a bit from here. I think I've made the Game Boy too small. But that's fine. You want to extrude this, and then this one as well. And then you want to extrude the one on the bottom. this one. Is that Sakuya Toho? No, it's not. I don't know why you would think that it's Sakuya Toho. Oops, what did I do? Alright, it's like that. And then there. Alright, I think I need to scale up the entire Game Boy, because this is obviously not scaled properly. So we go to the Game Boy. How do I scale the entire Game Boy? That's a good question. I think, oh, it is T. Is it T? So hold T, then left mouse drag. So I'm holding T. I'm holding T. Left mouse drag. Maybe I have to do it in the top view. No. I mean it does have this scaling icon indicating that this would do some sort of scaling operation. But it doesn't. Middle click, left, right click. Oh, is it because I've locked it? No, it's not locked. It is unlocked. It's literally unlocked. Okay, maybe we open the tutorial, the actual manual. picoCAD website. Manual says scales Y in U. What? So I'm pressing Y. What about U? Letter U. Nothing. But what about T? Is it because I'm in vertex mode? Is that like a different thing? I think we had 2. Alright, let's check the manual. Check out the manual. Scale. To move a mesh, grab it with the mouse and drag it. Each mesh has a center point used. Start dragging the mesh. Is it because I'm like selecting vertices? But if I want to select the mesh, I would simply... Is this mesh view? What is this? It's animation. To move a mesh. Modify vertices. Okay, modify vertices and meshes. Select. I want to select a mesh though. Click vertices to select them, drag them to change the position, the shape of the mesh. Each mesh has a center point. This. Oh, is this? Oh, this is this it? Oh, okay. You got to click on the center. Interesting. That's kind of confusing. I would wait. Okay, but wait. Oh, is it because my cursor was outside? I see it. Because my cursor was outside the thing, whereas when it's inside the thing, then it scales it. I guess that makes sense. Because you might be selecting a different object. Like if the D-pad was not locked, I guess it would scale this. Oops. Well, if I was like here. Yeah, okay, and then I see. Okay, so that's why. Okay, let's scale up the Game Boy. And then we have the D-pad is now here. And you want it to be outside. Okay, so that's something. And then we can add buttons. We can add a cylinder. And then now that we know how to scale the cylinder, we can simply just do that. With T, obviously T for scale, of course, T. And then you can move it here. And then Stands for transform? No, that's no way. There's no way that's true. That doesn't make sense. But maybe you're right. Maybe he's right. Have we considered that he's right? Now, why is this differently sized? Why is this no longer aligned? Is it because I've scaled the other thing? I would ideally have this be the same size as the other thing. But it's no longer aligned. Why is that? How do I align it? The D-pad. They're misaligned. How do I... Okay, nudge vertices. Control arrow keys. Oh, I see. Pressing 1 moves it far, but if you press control, you can have finer control, which is why it's called control. Control arrow keys, WASD. So you press W, regular WASD, but then if you press control, it's not moving. That's the thing though, it's not moving, despite the fact that I'm pressing the buttons. Control, maybe it's shift, it's not shift. What if it's like, it's alt. Control is doing nothing. Let's see, select multiple vertices, use the mouse to mark a rectangle. Move vertices. Left mouse button, drag. Nudge vertices. Control. What if you don't select anything? And I press left. That just moves the camera. But then if you... but I'm trying that. I'm trying to use control. I'm pressing control. And then arrow keys. Arrow keys. Nothing. It's not working. Well, what if I did it in this view? It's nothing. I'm selecting the cylinder. Okay, what if I lock the D-pad? But like left does this. Control left does not work. What if it was the right control? That's also nothing. What if it was actually... okay, it's not that. What if I snap everything to the grid? But how? How do I do that? How do I snap things to the grid? Cylinder. Oh, snap to grid. Oh, maybe, okay. But I feel like you shouldn't have to do that, right? Like, why was it misaligned in the first place? Alright, so now we have this. You can now select these. Okay, so now they're the same size. I don't know why it was misaligned to the grid, but it is there now. And then you move these such that they are in the expected place. I also feel like there's something messed up about this. Why is it doing that? What is that? why is it doing that? Whatever, surely it's fine. Surely there's no problems with this, with whatever this is. Did I like assign this to like the inside or something? Am I like looking through and it's like on the other side of this? No. Why is it doing that? Looks like when you get to a wall texture in Ultima Underworld, it goes crazy. Maybe it's like the camera projection is weird. I don't know. Anyway, alright, so we have this button. This is a button. Now what if we just duplicate this? There's no duplicate button. Is there a duplicate button? What is this thing? If I copy this, there's really no, surely there's a way to just copy, right? Duplicate clips, but that's a different thing, right? That's for animations. Duplicate. Traditional, oh, you can just, okay, just control C, control V, probably. No, okay. Control C, control V, nope, okay. Traditional copy, paste, cut controls work for meshes for quick duplication. Maybe you have to be in the middle of the mesh. Oh, I see, okay. So your cursor, it doesn't matter what you've selected, it just matters where your cursor is, which is a bit weird, but maybe that's fine. Alright, this will be B button, BA button. Okay, the delete key doesn't work, which is a bit weird to me. But that's fine. Okay, B button. Why did my circle turn into a diamond? I think because I aligned it to the grid. That's probably why, because like it probably one of the vertices was here and here and here and here, and then they like got pushed over there for some reason. That's probably why. Whatever, yeah, that's fine. It's fine for now. We're just learning. Alright, well here's our Game Boy. Okay, then we look for the start and select buttons. Game Boy. How are they shaped specifically? So they're like this. Alright, so we gotta make a rotated shape. We gotta add a... Yes, we add a cube, and then we extrude the faces of the cube like this, and then we make it smaller. I guess we don't extrude it, we just do this. And then this one. Now we need to learn about rotation. To rotate something, you gotta press R. But also the axis of rotation is there instead of here. Do I need to like move this so it's here? And now it rotates. Okay. Alright, so it's like over here. Move it down here. And then you do this. Bam. Okay. And then you copy paste. Rename this to select, and this to start. Alright, move the start button. There. It is a bit too close to the B button. So maybe we move the B button. Maybe the B button, maybe both of these buttons. Maybe we make the Game Boy larger again. Let's go back to our Game Boy. Let's scale it. And then is there a way to unlock everything? That's the thing. If I want to unlock everything, or just taller, no, it's gotta be everything larger. Everything must be larger. But why specifically? I don't know. Okay, now we just have to move the buttons around. So this one goes here. These two are there. And these ones go down. They are a bit misaligned. Although I guess it is that way on the regular Game Boy. They're not exactly in the middle. So I guess that's fine. Although it does seem a bit too, like, what's the word? It's a bit too, like this. There. Oh, okay. It could be a little bit larger. Like that. Okay, then you go back into your texture. And then you choose this face. And what you gotta do is that. Maybe you do this. Alright, then you gotta texture the other faces. So this one, obviously, it's gotta have the same color as the side right here. Like this. Same thing with the top. Do that. Same thing for this one. Just move them all into the same shape. There's probably a faster way to do this, right? Can I like select all these? I'm selecting all the vertices. And then if I move all, oh, it does work. It does work, guys. It literally does work. Okay, so now they're all the correct color. And then you do the same thing for buttons. Let's use the rectangle tool to draw a thing here. Like this. And then if you assign all of these, is there a way to choose the entire shape? Welcome Neo Biohazard. Can it make music? It cannot make music. I just had music in the title because I might be making music in a different software after this. Oh shoot, it's showing ads. I'm gonna drink some water. It's time to hydrate. Alright, I've done it. Okay, now we have all these. I would like to choose all of these, if possible. There's some way to choose every mesh associated with these shapes. Let's say I hide the Game Boy, and then if I choose all of these, is there a way to select everything? Do I have to choose all these faces one by one? I wonder. UV mapping. Select multiple faces by holding down Shift. I guess I have to select. No, surely, surely I don't have to select every face individually, right? Oh, you can clone the mesh from here as well. I guess I do have to select them all one by one. No way. There's no way that's true, right? There's gotta be a better workflow for this. probably missing. No, and then I unselected. I didn't hold shift for this one, so now it unselected everything. You have to select them all one by one. Is this real? Maybe we do it for this one and then find out if there's a better way. Okay, so now that you have that selected, you have to do this, then move it there, and then do this, and then do this. I guess usually for textures like this, you want it to be like a little bit, you want to give it like a little bit of padding so that when things are not rendered pixel perfectly, if it bleeds out slightly, it would not start using the gray. But it appears that it's disappeared. Is this my transparent color? Oh wait, is that what it is? Hold on. Is maybe this black color is the transparent color? Let's see if I paint this in. Interesting. Is that real? Is this real? Surely this is not real. It is, okay. So the first color is in fact that color, which is confusing because the background is this color. But then if I go here and I show the Game Boy, then, okay, so then that is there. But also this is not correct. This thing must also be here. And then do this. And this. Okay. Alright, then you do the same thing for these. For these buttons. No, there's got to be a better way, right? UV texturing. Animating. Selecting. Possible to select everything. Can I do Control A to select everything? Does that select everything? That does not select everything. I'd like to select everything. See, now what is going on with this? What is that? Why is it doing that? Why is it doing this? Why is it so strange? I feel like it's not supposed to be doing that. Well, I'm sure it's fine. No, is this a bug? It does feel like a bug. Anyway, let's select these. And these. No, I've unselected everything. Get that one. Alright, then you move all the vertices. You gotta move all of them so that they're in here. And then there. Alright, and then the same for these. These, which used to be cylinders, but are now aligned to the grid and are not cylinders anymore. They've changed. It used to be one way, but now they're a different way. Alright, and then these. Wait, what the heck? This is part of the. They got mice. What is this? I didn't even notice that. Alright, move all this stuff. Whoa. It does still retain the shapes as if it was a cylinder. Alright, well that's a Game Boy. Now whether I did it the correct way or not, I feel like I did not do it the correct way. But that is a preview of how you might do things in this program if you were inexperienced like me and did not know what to do. But then we don't have the cartridge. We gotta add the cartridge, obviously, right? We gotta click the add button. Let's add a cube, and this will be cartridge. We'll just call it cart. And then if there was a way to lock everything, I think that'd be cool. If there was maybe a lock everything button, so that I can lock everything except for the cart. Alright, so now it's up here, and then extend it this way, and that way, down. But then now it's like Z fighting. You see this? It's now overlapping, which is not ideal. You don't want that. You don't want it to be doing that. Obviously. Now it's like non-grid aligned, right? It is grid aligned, but the Game Boy is not grid aligned. So now it's like, now what? I would like to snap this to the other object if possible. Is it because the Game Boy is hidden? No. How do I select these? But it's not snapping them. Why would they not snap the object? Oh, you can use control for more fine movement. Interesting. But I wanted to snap though. Hold on. Snap. Toggle snap. Hold control while dragging. No, that's for UV mapping. Snap to grid. Snap to world grid. Toggle snap. But I wanted to snap. So it's snapping to like increments relative to the world grid. But I want it snapped relative to another object. Is that possible? I don't know if it is. I don't know if it is possible. I feel like it should be though. Possible. I would like to also have a way to nudge by smaller increments. Because right now, control left and control right does nothing. Control WASD. Oh, I guess control S. Wait a second. It says control keys WASD, but if you press control S, it saves it. It's like, what did they mean? Maybe you press control arrows and WASD? Surely not. Control arrow W. Nope, that's not it. But that saves it though. It's saving it. Which is confusing. It confuses me. Anyway, that's a Game Boy cartridge right there. And then I guess we could just use control. Can I unselect? How do I unselect? I'd like to unselect this. I'd like to select this and this. And then we can make it slightly higher up so that it doesn't Z fight. Yes. And then same thing for this. Have it be like right here. All right, then you gotta go into here. And then you select this one and that one. And then you move this such that it's here. But then you're like, well, Wolfie, why is the cartridge black if it's a regular non-Game Boy Color game? Actually, no, it's fine. I made up a person to be upset about, but it's fine because the Game Boy can play black cartridges. That's what it can play. The black cartridge indicates that it's compatible with the Game Boy and the Game Boy Color. That's why. Okay, so then you go here, you do this. Do the same thing in there. Alright, well anyway, that's, well, okay, but then you see the inside of here. You can still see the green. So I would like to hide the Game Boy. And then adjust this as well. Right there. And there. Alright, well, welcome Zuja. Oh, that is a Game Boy. Wolfie's Zonograms would have a black cartridge. Yep. It's compatible with both the regular Game Boy and the Game Boy Color. Oh, but there's also the bottom part. The bottom part. You can still see the green from the bottom part. And also these buttons right here. This one is here. And there. And this. And there. Alright, that is the Game Boy. Save as Game Boy. It's weird that it saves it as a TXT file though. Like, I want to see what the format of this file is. What would that look like? Where does it save its data to? File, save as. Where is this? Roaming, app data, roaming. Backups, example, unnamed. Unnamed. Gameboy.txt. Oh, it's just JSON. Why didn't they call it .json? This is not a regular TXT file. It's obviously structured. The structure is JSON. I got pixels stored in the JSON. Bookmark, camera, theta, distance to target, omega. Direction, watermark, picoCAD 2. We could try exporting this. How do you export this? Export GIF. Can I change the background color? Yo, welcome Mocha Devs. Hello, hello. What are you doing? Creature Kitchen. I don't know what that is, but I hope you had a good time. playing that game. I'm learning picoCAD 2, which is a low poly modeling software. And I've made a Game Boy, but I don't think I did it correctly because it looks weird. You'll notice that the screen is weirdly like doing things it's not supposed to. I don't really know. And I also don't know how to change the background color. It's a cute little cozy horror game about making meals for critters. Creature Kitchen. Creature Kitchen. Raccoon, of course. When I think of creatures, I think of like monsters. I guess a raccoon is technically a creature. I guess a bird is a creature. Is it a horror game? Cozy horror game. They have many creatures. Yeah, thanks for the raid. No problem. If you gotta go raiders as well, feel free. It's a vibes based. Is that a peanut butter jelly sandwich? Anyway, yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to change the color of the background. Settings. It might be in settings? Texture grid. Oh, you can change the grid size, maybe. Auto backup every 10 minutes. Increment GIFs. OS cursor. Inward zoom. Background color. Is that a thing? Oh, this. Oh, you can change. Okay, change the background from here. We can have the background be maybe this blue. That's a nice blue color. Welcome muffin. Export GIF. And then scan line, FOV, left tag, right tag, size, camera spin, right, animate. There's no animations. Well, yeah, there's my weird looking Game Boy. Saved as a 5-second animation. Wow. Does this not have black as a color? I think you could change the colors to whatever you want. So I guess the first color is always a transparent one, and then if you want to change this color to be something else, you could do that somehow. I remember in the first picoCAD, you had a fixed amount of colors that you can choose from, because that was made in Pico 8, which has a limited color scheme. But this one, you could choose whatever you want. Somehow. I think there's some way to do it. Yeah, this. You could choose, you know, you can make the second color like this. And then... Oh, you could choose the alpha color. You could choose, okay, if you wanted the alpha color to be green, then you could use this black. And then this green would be the transparent one. But by default, it's the first color. Or the 0th color, if you are a programmer. Programmers, you understand. Well, anyway, this is my Game Boy. Now, I will say it is kind of tedious. There's a lot of things that I think I could have done faster in other software that I know about. But that, I guess that's by design. You know, they intend for this to be for simple. I mean, this is pretty simple of a model, right? It's not that complex. But also, look at this. Why is it doing that? What am I doing? Why is it doing that? Welcome, ChocoJax. Holy frick, 3D, no way. ChocoJax knows how to do 3D. She knows how to make 3D models. Probably make one that's way better than this. Anyway, there's my Game Boy, okay? That's my Game Boy. You could also draw stuff. Does the model still keep the style if you put it into other programs? I guess we can see. Export DLTF. And then it's got this. Very cool would be peak to see a low poly wealthy game. I still gotta learn a lot about modeling. But whoa, this looks bad actually when zoomed out. It turns out that it doesn't. Why does it look like that? See, this is what I was talking about in terms of like, when you choose the colors, you don't want it to be like right up against like another color. That's why like when I chose these colors, how do I choose? How do I go back? How do I hide something? Like if I select all these and I go back, when I chose these colors, I made sure that they were like the edges that were surrounding it were not against another color. I guess when you open them in standard resolution programs, they will, the colors will blend into each other. So this red, I guess, is from probably the fact that I used this color as the gray, and then like it was going up against this. So I guess we could try to fix that. So we know that on, let's see, on this one right here, we've chosen this. And then we could simply have it be like this instead, which I think would solve the problem. Welcome Zykes, thank you for 41 months. That is in fact many months. And then the same thing for back here. This color, oop. Click on this, and then it's got to be like this. And then I think if you export this, it should fix this stuff. But I guess you probably also want to like fix this and this as well. There's probably some better way to do it. Welcome, Teeny. Low poly modeling, I am not doing a very good job at it. But it's happening. Things are happening. Alright, and then we've updated that one, and then what? And then I guess this. Oh, because this thing goes right up against this. The fact that like this is there is not ideal. Due to the way that I have it set up, I think it's unavoidable unless I like move all the vertices around so that this is in a different area. Or I could just, let's see. If I select this, if I just make this like that, it will distort the screen slightly, but that's fine, right? It's probably okay. And then if I do, what if I did this? What if it was like this? This is wider than the actual Game Boy screen is in real life, but that's fine. And then I think if I export this now, it should be better. I think I need to fix this first. That, and then probably also the bottom. Now, in another program, you could do this probably way easier by just selecting all the meshes at once. And I still don't know why this is happening. There's probably some kind of reasoning for this. I'm sure someone will understand. Anyway, we export this. And we reload it. See, and this is like better. It's like this stuff is fixed. I guess I didn't fix this one. Welcome, Classic Carabelle. We could fix this one, right? Can we fix, hold on. Why is this the wrong? Oh, it's because, okay, it's because the front face is actually, it's actually overlapping with these. Now, I guess the easy way that you could just do it is just by doing this, right? Because I'm not using those colors. I guess it's fine. It's probably an easy way to do it. All right, and then open it up. And look, so that stuff is fixed. Now the other stuff though, a lot of things you gotta fix up. A lot of things to consider here. This is just for making something to display in the program, not to export necessarily, unless you can display it the same way as it does in picoCAD. Have a similar filter. I think you can tell it to use like, to have these pixels be sharp. I think there's like probably some way to say that the texture should be scaled in a way that uses nearest neighbor interpolation instead of linear or whatever. Because I think I've done that. I think I like in the other things that I've made before in other programs. I think they're similar, but I don't know. I don't know how to set it specifically. But the shading that they do here, I think. Hold on. How do I enable the shading? Some way to do shading. How do I do shading? How does shading work? What is this? Also, what is this? Auto ramps. Reset palette. Help. Help. Modify the texture 16 colors. Okay. Me when I can't read 2 sentences. Oh, there's more than 2 sentences. I can't read that. I thought there was like a setting so that you could shade things, isn't there? Oh, it's just like, okay. Yeah, like this kind of shading, I guess you can't really get this outside of this program. Actually, I guess it would look better if I exported it like this. I did not have that enabled. I mean, sorry, the GIF, not the actual thing. Oh yeah, this looks better. But I'm pretty sure when I export this as a GLTF file, it's not going to have that. Yeah, it does not look like that. But anyway, this is an option if you want like a very simple modeling program that maybe lacks some nice functionality, but it's good enough for many people. A lot of people have made nice looking things with the original picoCAD. And this monkey, there's like a truck, a bus perhaps, a Ninja Turtle model of some kind. This, a car, you could totally make a car if you wanted to. You could also do animations. Wow, this one looks nice. Could make something like this. If you were good, unlike me, if you were good at this, you could make something like that. It's just a matter of time, you know, like knowing when to do things, how to do things, perhaps. I guess before I stop working on this, I should probably fix this up. I should probably fix this part as well. Alright, so you select this one, and then you choose it such that it is not overlapping with this. And then the other part that's broken is this one. Let's see, it's on the back, and perhaps it's this one. Okay. Okay. And then if you export this one, should look better. Now, obviously, this thing still has problems, but the rest of it is probably all right. Still don't know why it's doing this though. Well, anyway, that's this. That's pretty cool though. I will say I do prefer Crocodile 3D, the other program that I used. It's been a long time since I've used it, so I don't remember exactly how to use it. But I think I could make something similar using Crocodile. I guess I might as well install the latest version. Let's update it. Oh, you could just launch it from here? I was opening the directory and everything. It was updated 1 week ago. What the? No, let's just, let's not launch it. Let's run this one. So if I were to make a similar thing in this program, here's how I would do it. You can make a cube, perhaps. Okay, it turns out I've forgotten exactly how to use this software. How do you rotate the camera? Shift? No. Space. Oh, it's space. It's space. And then how do you select vertices? This. Control. Shift. Alt. Control. Control? No, it's not control. V? No. I used to be so good at this program. Can't believe it. That I've forgotten how to use it. Ah, whatever. Imagine if I did it. You're like, wow, Wolfie, that looks so cool. How did you do that? Wow, that looks so cool. How did he do that? Oh, I should re-export this GIF. Export GIF. And then here. Now it's not rotating about the center, but that's fine. Orthographic fisheye mode. Oh, that looks bad. Orthographic mode. Perspective mode. Size. Duration, it doesn't have to be 3 seconds. 2 seconds. Oh, you don't get to choose? It can only be one of these. How do I make it not rotate about this axis? Is there a way? There's some way. Maybe not. Maybe that's fine. No. Oh, maybe it depends on where you zoomed in before you entered this menu. So like if I center this here in the middle, maybe it rotates around this axis. Surely that's it. Yeah, okay. So just if I zoom out slightly, move it over here. Export GIF. Sure. And then we have, oh, it doesn't even overwrite the file. Can't believe this. Well, there's my weirdly rendered Game Boy. It definitely has some issues. But it's there, it's literally there. I think it should say like this, it exists. Are you sure you want to like make a new one or override it? Because I did want to override it. I don't want to save the old one. Why would I save the old one? Oh, there's examples. Wait a second. I want to see how they did these examples. Wow, look at it. This one looks nice. How did they make these trees? Deco? Deco like the Vocaloid producer? No way. Deco. Stone. Fence. Tree 1. Tree 2. Tree 3. I'd like to see how they did this tree. Oh, it's just, okay, it's just like some triangles and then they have the texture. It's simpler than I thought it would be. Okay, so they just choose this and then they use the transparent to make the bottom visible. They also have front view and bottom left? No, no. There should be like an indication of what's what. I guess that would make sense, because if the top view is up here, it would make sense that this is looking forward. I guess. But why did the other ones not have it like that? Yeah, whatever. It's fine. Okay, so the trees are simply some triangles. That actually looks quite nice. Like, compared to how I did it in Crocodile, where my trees were just like a bunch of like other shapes that were different. I like this way of doing it. Okay, and then the waterfall itself is... How do I select the waterfall? Oh, because I've locked it. In terms of resource sizes, how much does it shrink compared to full 3D meshes? What do you mean by shrink? Oh, you mean like making a tree from like these triangles rather than like having each each leaf be a thing? I don't know. Or polygons, you could try to count them. You could be like, this is like 3, whereas this is like others. I don't know. It depends on the mesh, probably. Okay, so this waterfall is also a single rectangle. And specifically, it's this. Interesting. And then the river is this. And then this, oh, this one is multiple. I would have assumed this would just be one thing. Oh, I guess because you want to repeat the texture. So that's why they have each one of these as its own rectangle. And then what? And then the rock. Now I do remember when I was 3D modeling my scene in Crocodile, I had a hard time making a rock. These rocks look quite nice. How did they do this? Oh, they just texture it like this. I could have done that, but I didn't. I didn't know how to do it. And then they have this one. They got the fence. The fence. Oh, they didn't even model those. The fence is just like a flat texture, but then they use transparency. It's kind of nice. That's pretty neat. Now, if you compare this to the Crocodile 3D waterfall example, theirs looks like this, right? And you'll see that these trees are slightly different. These trees do not just use 3-sided shapes for this large thing. They have separate shapes for all. They got fish in there. They got the bottom. They got some grass. They got flowers that move. But this doesn't. Alright, let's check out the other examples. Rig.txt. Oh, it's a truck. I think this one might also have animation. No, this one doesn't. I thought one of the examples had animation. Pirate, does the pirate have animation? It doesn't. It does not have animation. Interesting. Oh, I guess they probably like flipped this part for symmetrical purposes. Yeah, okay, they're reusing this part for both sides of the face. Okay, what about pig? Pig.txt. That's the pig. Everything is in one object, the body object. What the? How did they do that? How did they do all this? Living room. Oh, I want to see how they did this TV. How did they extrude? Oh, I guess, wait, I guess they extruded, they made a square, or sorry, a cube. They extruded the face, and then they just inset the face slightly. I guess this is different from the Game Boy in the sense that I wanted to inset it, which would be different. The fact that this is curved is fine for a TV. And then I noticed their wall is also a bit distorted depending on your camera angle. Like you would expect it to be like a straight line, but then at a certain angle it gets warped. I think this is due to the way that that faces get divided into triangles. So like if they have this triangle right here, let's see, it's like, how do I select? Maybe everything is locked, that's why I can't select it. Let's see, walls. Right, so these are all like this, which means that maybe there's like, the triangle is like from here to down here. When you zoom in at certain angles, you'll notice it gets distorted in such a way that suggests that it's being divided like this. Yeah, so if you look at this axis, the distortion happens along here. Now I wouldn't have expected it to be so extreme though. Like I feel like usually it's not like that, but maybe it's fine. I wonder what this one looks like if you export it. Export this one as GLTF. Yeah, oh, what the heck? Why does it why does this look like this? What did they do here? So this one, let's see, the bookshelf. What's going on with this bookshelf? So they used this. Wait, what? Also, do you see, are you seeing this? What is this? The heck? Okay, so this one, wait, why is this using this texture? Why is that? When you look at this, it's clearly like brown, so you would expect it to be using like one of these, but for some reason it's using this. What the heck? Why is it doing that? I don't know. But anyway, I guess these ones don't have transparency in the export, or I guess whatever this viewer is might not have transparency. But you'll notice it does have seams, so when you're making these, you gotta make sure you add some padding around it if you want to use it in other programs where you can't necessarily control how precise the pixels are. All right, and then they have another example that is advanced meshes. What is advanced? Look at how advanced these meshes are. What is this? What is this shape? That is quite advanced. An isocahedron. Hex antiprism. What is an antiprism? I don't even know. Me when I'm talking to my aunt and I'm like, I've become a prism. Call that antiprism. I think that's all their examples. Still need these. Living room. And this one. And that one. Anyway, that's it for picoCAD, I guess. I could make another thing, but I think you get the gist of it. I think if I was more inclined to make a nice looking low poly model, I could consider using this, maybe. But for now, I guess we move on to the next thing, which is music. Let's make some music, everyone. It's time, once again. We're gonna go to Strudel. It's time to create a new song. Enough of this lo-fi, royalty-free Stream Beats BGM. Let's make a new song to listen to. Everyone's been looking forward. They've all been like, Wolfie, when are you gonna make a new song? Title, example. By Wolfie. Alright, so how is this new song going to go? What is my new song going to be? Welcome to Tub of Insects, my own royalty-free lo-fi BGM. I've done that. This one. I made this one. I could make another lo-fi BGM if I wanted to. Could consider this, or I could consider making like music in a different genre, but it's like, but what genre though? That's the question. What genre do I feel like making music? I don't know. Go find out. Alright, set CPM. How many beats per minute? It depends on what kind of music I'm trying to make. 107. My default BPM is 107 in 4/4 time. And then I guess you start with drums. And the percussion, you simply just stack various things. So you want to do sound. You could also just do S. Instead of sound, it could be S. Bass drum, I think there's a way to say which beats you want it on. Typically the way I would do it is struct, and then I would do like, I use an X to mark when I want it to be played. But there is a way, I think it's called like pattern or something. Pattern or loop, maybe? No, I think it's called beat. Yeah, you want to tell it, creates a structured pattern from divisions, useful for creating rhythms. What are the arguments though? I guess this is the number of divisions, and this is the which beat you want it to occur on. So I guess this would be, if you divide it into 4, you want it to occur on beat 1. Or 0, I guess it'd be beat 0. And then you could have snare drum occur on beat 2. So it would alternate. Oh no, this is struck. What am I doing? It's got to be beat instead of struct. All right, so there's that. And then you could have a hi-hat that occurs on beats 1 and 3. You could also subdivide it into 8ths and have this be different, perhaps. Oh, whatever, this is fine. All right, then we set some chords. Let's make some chords. It's going to be... Now I could use my helper methods that I've defined, so I could define them in Roman numeral notation. But what if we didn't do that? What if instead of doing that, I simply just did something else? What if we did this in the key of C major? It could be C7 chord. What is our chord progression? It's going to be a 1, 5. Let's do chord progression. It's going to be 1, classic 1, 6, 2, 5, 1. Often seen in city pop, in jazz. We got the 2, 5, 1. So 1 would be C. 6 would be C, D, E, F, G, A. A7. And then 2 would be D, D7. And 5 would be G, G7. And then we set the instrument. It's going to be I guess it's regular piano, perhaps. It's wrong. Oh, you got to do voicing. Chord voicing. Okay, and then you could make it a bit more interesting by maybe adding some suspended chords there. D7 sus. So when the chord is sus. And then what? And then maybe G7 is also sus. Maybe we use a different instrument. Let's see, which piano? GM, E piano. 2. Piano 1. Room 0.4. Somehow the A sounds weird. Is A really the 6th? C, D, E, F, G, A. Yeah, that is the 6th. Why is that weird? Is it because it's supposed to be 6 major? Okay, what if I just use my helpers? I've created helper functions. I might as well use them. Copy this one. Put that in there. Alright, so instead of this, it's going to be a Roman chord. 1, 6, 2, 5. Now what if instead of this 6, it was a major Roman chord, and then just do this, but they must be 7s, and then this one, 2, 7 sus. Roman chord is not defined. I literally defined it. Oh, because I've registered it. It's gotta be like this. But it doesn't work. Question is, why doesn't it work? Good question. Good question. We gotta check the JavaScript console for this. I don't know how to do that in the... Okay, just do this. Where is this really the console? Parent process browser console. Roman chord, voicing, sound. Now, why isn't it doing anything? How did I do it in the other examples? Oh, I gotta give it the key. Forgot. Roman chord, C major. Okay. But I guess 7 sus is not a thing. Pretty sure 7 sus is not a thing. Just regular sus. Two sus is not a thing. Strudel chords. Wait, that's the wrong thing. Strudel chords. Sus. Where's the sus chord? 7 sus should be a thing. Now, why isn't it a thing? 7 sus. Anyway, Twitch has decided to show some ads, so I will drink some water. You get to listen to this fancy rat song.
Rattenmarmelade. Rattenmarmelade.
I forgot about this.
Rattenmarmelade. Rattenmarmelade. Rattenmarmelade.
Alright. Alright, I'm hydrated. Now you'll notice the chord progression that I've used in my new song is exactly the same as this one. You'll notice it sounds very similar. For some reason the 7 sus though. The 7 sus. No, that should be there. Why doesn't this support a 7 sus? Weird. Strange. 7 sus. It's not there. What about 9 sus? It doesn't work. Why doesn't it work though? Is this somehow different? Definitely done. Oh, I guess I didn't do 2 sus. Is there no 2 sus? 6 sus. 2 regular 7. For some reason, there's no 2 sus. 2 7 sus. Alright, but this could be 5 7 sus. And presumably that works. That works. Alright. Now what kind of genre of music do I want to make? Welcome, M is cool. Hello. I should probably change my title. It's no longer trying picoCAD 2 low poly modeling. It is now making some music. Making some music in Strudel. Making some JavaScript music in Strudel. Alright, well this chord progression, we've used it too much. I mess with CAD applications off it. I do not actually. I can show you what I made today. It's not very impressive. It's does not look particularly good, but I tried. Alright, let's see. Open recent. Oh no, it's not even there anymore. Let's see. Game Boy. I made this. It's not very good. But I made it. There's definitely problems with it. Definitely things that could have been done better. But it's there. Never heard of picoCAD. Yeah, it's like a low poly modeling software. It's like intentionally very minimalistic. But it makes a lot of things a bit inconvenient, but on purpose. It's got limitations on purpose. But now I'm writing music in JavaScript. What if I 3D modeled something? I think this program does have a way where you can like generate visual effects. I've not tried it because my reason for using this software is to make music. But there is a way to have it draw things. Anyway, understandable if you came into this stream expecting 3D modeling and you got music instead. If you would like to not be here, you're like, I wanted something else. You could feel free. Don't feel obligated to stay. I'm changing topics. All right, what kind of music? What are some musical genres that I should make music for? What about musical genres? List of musical genres and style. Lo-fi. If you subscribe enough times, you might go back to modeling. Not true. Not true. At least not today. Maybe I can make another. What if I just made another 12-bar blues? Desert blues, Detroit blues, country, cowpunk. What is cowpunk? Easy listening. Electronic. What if we just use a regular piano? Jazz. What if you make a jazz song? How does one make a jazz song? These are already jazz chords. The 2-5-1, it's there. I think if we wanted to make jazz, I have some helper functions for this. Some more advanced functionality for defining secondary dominance. Anyone aware of secondary dominance in music? I learned this. I'm aware of what this is. So here, this is an example. So right now we have this, right? We got it's actually gonna be a Roman C major and then dot chord. Alright, now we have the 1, 6, 2, 5, right? But then You could say instead of going directly to the 2, you could go to the 5 of the 2, the 5, 7 of the 2. You could go to the 1, 7 of the 2. And this probably makes no sense to anyone. Welcome Killer Numbers. Can someone help me build a botnet? Unfortunately, you're on your own. But maybe some other person could help you. And then this thing could run twice. And this does sound weird. It does sound quite strange. Like, why would you go from the 1, 7 of the 2 to the 5 of the 2? It makes no sense. No sane person would do this. But you could. You could totally do it. Alright, jazz. Let's look into jazz. Main article, jazz. Bebop. Improvisation. Wait, ragtime is jazz? That's interesting. Alright, but what do I do? Well, how do I make interesting music? Well, first of all, the drum beat. We gotta start with an interesting drum beat. We had that useful website that we used last time. Was it this one? It was this one. Basic rock beat, funk groove, EDM beat, hip hop beat, jazz swing, bossa nova. Let's do a bossa nova beat. I don't really know what exactly bossa nova really is. When someone describes something as bossa nova and I listen to it, I go, yep, that's bossa nova. Alright, so they got their hi-hat every other beat. So you can do this by hi-hat. It's gotta be, so every other beat starting on beat 0. So it'd be hi-hat times, how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, so there's the hi-hat. And then you want the snare. The snare has gotta be snare drum. Divide this into 16. And the snare drum should occur on beats 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9, 2, 5, 9, 13. What a strange combination. And then the kick drum. The kick drum. Divide this into 16. It would occur on beat 0 and 3 every 3. So 0, 3. Wait, is that every 3? 0, 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. That sounds weird. Is it supposed to sound like this? I think I gotta remove my chord progression. Does it sound like that? Let's see, 107 BPM. 107 BPM. Does mine sound like that? It sounds so weird. Why does this sound so weird? I don't know about this one. Not sure about this one. But we could do a piano roll. Labels. Alright, so we got the hi-hat, we got the snare drum, we got the bass drum. I don't know if that looks correct. It's probably fine. So we got 2, 2, 5, 9. I don't know about this. I'm not sure about this bossa nova beat. Maybe we don't use this. What? Maybe we use a good old breakbeat. Maybe a good old down tempo trip hop. Maybe a good old blues shuffle. You know, yeah, let's do a blues shuffle. Alright, so we got the snare. Snare occurs on beats 1 and then every 2. So snare drum 1 and then 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 4, and then you just add 3 every time. So 3, 10, 13, and then 14, 15. Right. Alright, and then the bass drum. The bass drum, which is kick, that occurs on 0, 3, and then until the end. So 0, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Alright, and then I guess the hi-hat should be a bit not as loud. So we gotta have this be... We could also choose a different drum kit. Drum machines, we could use the Lin drum. Lin 9000. Dot. What was the word for it? What was the terminology? Kit? Bank. I think it was bank. Bank. Lin 9000. No. Oh, this is fine. Okay, hi-hat. Gain 0.6. Alright, so that is a blues shuffle. It occurs 8 times every measure. Snare occurs on these beats. Alright. And then we add our classic, or let's just do another 12-bar blues. Everyone knows this one. Alright. Const chord progression equals. So we got our 1. We got our, you can have a fast 4. You can go quite easily to the 4, back to the 1. And then you gotta go to 4, 4, 1, 1, and then 5, 4, 1, 5. Chord progression. Roman. Chord voicing, sound piano. Alright, then just unmute it. This feels kind of loud. Let's lower the gain of the other stuff. 0.7 perhaps. Unexpected token on line 51. chord progression, then we have our melody. Chords. Percussion. Alright, so our melody. We're gonna have a chord progression. I guess we put this here. Put this one there. Chord progression. Let's do N dot. What are we doing? What are we even doing here? Dot set chord progression. Dot voicing. Dot sound. Piano. Alright, our melody is going to be, let's go 0, 1, 2, 3. It's not playing. Question is, why is it not playing? Good question. Got N, got set, got voicing. I didn't do dot chord. Did not do dot chord. It also just doesn't work. Okay, let's take a look. And this always confuses me. You gotta do N and then chord and then voicing. It is there. It is there. It is there. Oh, chord progression dot chord. That's what I want. Why do the drums feel so loud? Alright, what if we did this? Go to 1. Instead of this, you could have it do struct. You could have this do maybe something like what? Let's do dot layer pattern pattern chord voicing struct. And then the other pattern could be root notes 2 struct x. Maybe root notes 3. I feel like the drums don't fit. Why does the drums just sound so out of place? Let's go back down to 1. What is this drum pattern? This drum pattern, blues shuffle. A swung rhythm, often with the kick drum playing a shuffle pattern, snare providing a backbeat, hi-hat plays steady rhythm, the shuffle feel. This is a basic this melody, and then you can have this maybe this is currently considering our chord progression. This should rather be a bass line. And the sound is going to be GM acoustic bass. And you obviously gotta set the anchor to be C3. I think the drums are they just don't fit. The drums just don't fit. Alright, then we have our melody. Melody is gonna be this could be like 0. A more subtle version of the drums. Perhaps. Right, instead of being like this, it could simply just be divide that into 8. Play this on beats 0, 4. And this one could be on 2 and 6. Yeah, that's okay, that's way better. It is still a bit fast, but it is better. Alright. Let's change this a bit. This could be, it goes up to 2 and then down to 1. And then 0. Yeah. This is playing 8th notes. I'll make this a bit louder. But now the piano sounds out of place. I think it's because it's like this. It's supposed to be this, right? And then instead of just playing the root notes, you could play, you could add to it. First you add 0, then you add 7. What does this sound like on its own? Oh, I think I needed to do dot note. Hold on. Root notes dot note. Oh, that's why. Okay, that's why I wasn't doing anything earlier. And then I guess you could play this twice, maybe every other measure. Times 1 times 2. And then what? And then welcome Dofme, love toast or strudel? No, this is regular strudel. This is a regular strudel. Okay, that's something. Yes. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay, now what? Now we add our melody. Is regular strudel just oven strudel? No one really knows. Honestly, what even is strudel? Root notes 4. root notes 4, and then this is where we add the melody. You got this one, you got this, dot set, dot add. Wait, hold on. How do I want to do this? How am I doing this? Chord progression, root notes 4, add our melody. Let's just try something here. 0, 1, 2. Wait, what does this sound like? Sound piano. It appears that this is not playing. Or it's stuck on the 0 for some reason. Oh, I have to do dot note. But it appears to still be stuck on 0. Root notes 4. Maybe before you do this, you do this. Something's broken. Why is this broken? Let's do piano roll. So what is this doing? Piano. It should be a note. Note. C4. C4. So why is it's not going to the next one? What if it goes like this? Oh no, because I have to do this. Hold on. This thing needs to be first, and then I add the chord progression. I'm doing this in the wrong order. This. Now it sounds bad, but it is changing. And that's because I'm adding things outside the scale. Because this is just adding semitones instead of whole tones. And that sounds better. But I would like for this to be offsets based on the scale. I think I could do that by doing the scale C major. And then rather than adding, I need to transpose, perhaps? Or not, maybe, I don't know. I don't really know. Why is it G11? I didn't know it went up that high. B12? That's too much. Why is that? What if I added chord progression root note 0? Okay, so now it's in the scale, I think. Okay, what if I did this. 0, 0, 2, 1, 0. And then this was this. Although, why is it starting from 0? Guys, am I doing this right? I think I'm doing this wrong. I think I'm doing this wrong. The math is not mathing. This appears to not be changing depending on which. I think do I need to do if I did this? What if I simply did not have this based on the chord progression and I simply did this? 2, 4, 3, and then what does that sound like? Expected white space, but underscore found. Is this anything scale? What does this even sound like? Let's anchor this to C3. Whoa, that's too much. Maybe we don't anchor it. Maybe we make this a harmonica. Is this anything? Okay, what if instead of a piano, it was a banjo? What if instead of an acoustic bass, it was a what's another like banjo-like instrument? What do you normally associate with banjos? Bottle. Blown bottle. No, that's not it. That's not even anything. Harmonica, drums, oboe. Oboe. Okay, so the oboe sounds like that. The banjo could be louder. This could be C5. What if this was Outer Wilds? What if we made the Outer Wilds thing? I think the oboe sounds a bit weird. Welcome Okshakar. That's how you're supposed to cook it? With a loud banjo. C5. Apple strudel. instruments similar to banjo. The ukulele. Well, what instruments that pair with the banjo? Instruments for dueling banjos, banjo-related genres. Fiddle? Wait, a fiddle, isn't that a thing? Fiddle? Sure. And the harmonica. Wait, you could just look up the instruments that are used in Outer Wilds. What do we just use all those Outer Wilds instruments? Banjos, synthesizers, pianos. Is this spoilers? What are the instruments? What are their instruments called? Tremolo electric guitars. Digital synthesizer. Banjos, a theremin. Well, I guess this is close enough. We got a fiddle, we got a harmonica, a banjo. Alright. And then what is our melody going to be? So it goes from chord 1 to chord 4. So 4 should go there. And then it goes back to chord 1, so it can go from 1 to 0, could go up to 2, back to 1, could then go back to 0, and then it stays in 1, so it can go from 0, you could play another 0, perhaps. Alright, and then it goes into 4. It goes back to 4. So with 4, you would go from, let's see, we got 0, 1, 2, 3. So it can be 3. I guess this should rather be 3, because it's like 0 index. And then what? Then you could start playing something else. You could play a long note, and then you could maybe go up to 5, and then go down to 4, 3. Sure. And then after that it goes back to 3. So maybe play another 3. Then maybe go up to 4, 5. And then you rest for a little bit. And then you could even continue going. You could even go 6, 7. Literally 6, 7. But then you gotta go back to 1. So maybe then you go up to the next octave. The 8 in the next octave. Then what? Let's just see what this sounds like. I don't think that sounds good. Whatever I did here does not sound good. 3 to 5. 3 could go to 4 and then 5. maybe go 7 back down to 6. Then it goes back to 1, so it could go from 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. It could basically descend back to 0, and then 0, 2, 4, maybe 2, 4, 3, 2, 2. Sure. Let's play this from the beginning. No, there's no melody here. What is this? What even is this, man? What if you got rid of this? And then instead of this, it would be, bring this back. Do this. I don't know about this one. Maybe instead of going up to 7, it could go, let's see, so right now this one is this one is chord number 4. It's gonna go back to maybe like chord 3. And then what? Not sure about this one. This one could use a bit more something. Maybe we don't have this. This could be lowered slightly. Could also be slowed slightly. You guys know that making music is hard. What am I doing? What are we doing here? We got 3, 4, 5, 4, 0, 1, 2, 0. I think perhaps that the melody is not interesting enough. It's not memorable. Haven't heard this app at all, not even from my stream. You've heard of it now, right now. You're listening to it right now. What if this was like this? That was like this. Like, I like the rhythm of this part. This one's fairly memorable. Has something else going on when you used it? Don't always catch your stream because of schedule. Oh no, I wasn't trying to guilt you. How dare you? How dare you not watch all my streams? I can't believe this guy hasn't seen literally every stream of mine. I can't believe this. Let's see. How do I make this sound better? How do I improve the sound of this? Welcome HTV. This is cool. It is quite nice. I do like it. No, only my song sounded better. What if we had? Okay, this isn't really a bass line. This is kind of like a what's it called? Like a secondary thing. It's not really. I guess it's a counter melody. We could have a real bass line. Right, so a real bass line. The backup band, sure, perhaps. So what is a real bass weapon? Weapon? Why did I say weapon? Instrument. It's supposed to be boring? Yeah, but this isn't boring. That's my problem, is that this is not really boring. I need something like even more boring. I need like perhaps a whistle? Maybe a whistle here. A whistle, and then the bass line. It's got to be like, what would this be? This would simply be a. Let's have it like 0, 0. How many things should this have? Let's break this up into 4s. So it'll look like this. And then we have this. And so we skip 2. We skip 2. And then it goes like this. Let's have this be a... What is a melodic tom? I don't know what that sounds like. Okay, what about a... It's another instrument. An ocarina? A pan flute? Let's just throw a shamisen. Let's just put a shamisen in there. Yeah, sure. A harmonica, fiddle, a shamisen. Anchored at C4. What about trombone? No. Ocarina. I could also make these a bit longer. Like this. No, whatever. It's fine. GM. Orchestra. GM orchestra. What does an orchestra hit sound like? Sure, sure. Let's try that. That sounds weird. Music. Ooh, music box. Music boxes do not sound like this. Listen. GM rubric. You know what? Shamisen. Shamisen was fun. Alright. This melody needs to be more interesting. Alright, so from the 5. From here, we have various things. Alright, so here we go to 5. The 5 chord, as we all know, starts with 4, because the 4 is 0 indexed 4 is the same as 5. We got 4, and then it could go up. It could go up to 6. And then down to 5, 4. Maybe we got this. And then it goes down to 4, which you all know is 3. 3. And then maybe then it goes back. Maybe it goes up to 5, 4, and then it descends. It descends 3, 2, 1. And then you're back in chord 1, which as you all know is 0. 0. And then maybe you go back up to 2. And then go to 1. And back to 0. And you gotta end on the 5 chord. The 5 chord is 4. 4. Maybe you hold it for a while. Then you go 3, 2, 1, 0. Alright, let's restart this from the beginning. Sure. Okay, I kind of like this part though. This part does sound kind of nice. I'm not a big fan of this part, but I do like this part. And this part. Alright, well that part's nice. And then what? And then since we have this all playing at the same time, we could layer them. We could start off with just the percussion or just the chords. Oh wait, I don't even have these chords playing. I forgot about this. I didn't even have the harmonica in here. But now I feel like now there's too much going on. Maybe it's fine. Alright, so we can now assign all these to variables. Let's do const melody equals this. Exclamation mark 3. Doesn't the exclamation mark happen after the number though? Baseline, counter melody, it's imaginary, what? Alright, then we delete everything. We delete all these labels, we stack them manually. Alright, so let's see. Do this. Alright, so we do arrange. Arrange. And then each one of these tells you how many bars to play it for. So let's play, let's start off with only the bass line. And then after 4 bars, maybe 4 bars is too long. Instead of 4 bars, we got 2 bars. 2 bars of bass line only. And then after that, you add the percussion. And then after that, you add the counter melody. Some percussion. Oh no, the chords. And then after that, counter melody. And then you have the full thing. Then you got the counter melody, then you got the melody. Alright, let's start that from the beginning. Unexpected token on line 75. Oh, chance. I typed it wrong. Chanced? Oh, shoot. Sounds like Mortal Kombat. I feel this could be slower. You could start off a bit slow. You know, sure, let's build it up. 4 bars. Sure. The bass line does feel out of place, actually. It feels too fast compared to... You expect like a different genre of song before the chords come on. Bass line. The fact that these are in the same octave, I could raise or lower some of these. When it's just the bass, I expect some funk. Exactly. I could maybe have this in C5. And maybe the main melody could be in C6. A bit too loud. I don't know. Well, anyway, this is, what do I call this song? Call this song, 12 bar shamisen banjo. 12 bar shamisen banjo. As opposed to this one. As opposed to this one. Or this one. There, I'm gonna save this. It doesn't sound so bad. It's acceptable. It sounds like music. The bass line though could maybe be different. I feel this, okay, maybe not banjo, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, this is fine. This is good enough for now. I'm gonna copy this and paste it in my other software. Let me open up sudo on my other computer just to make sure it's been copied over. New one, and I paste it. Paste it. It's not being pasted for some reason. Okay, there it is. Alright, anyway, that's it for today. We did some stuff today. And that is the end of the stream. Alright, thanks for watching. I will be back on Friday with something. With what? I don't know. With something. Some kind of stream. Probably not picoCAD. Where's the days? What the heck? Oh, they're there. Recycling Day, Supreme Sacrifice Day, Lacy Oatmeal Cookie Day, Biodiesel Day. Actually, not a lot of interesting raid message days today. Let's do Transit Driver Appreciation Day raid. Sure, what about that one? Alright, who's streaming? Who do I raid? Who's out there today? Whoa, Soccer Ucker's also using picoCAD. We could raid Soccer Ucker. Is there anyone playing Wolfie's Nonograms though? No. When did I last raid Ucker? Last raided 110 days ago. You know, that's long enough ago. That's plenty of time ago. Let us raid Stalker Rocker. She appears to be making something more interesting than I was. In picoCAD. Alright. Anyway, I've already said what I was gonna do. I've already stated that I'd be back on Friday. So what do I talk about now? What do I even say now? I don't even know. Something or other. Hope you all have a good rest of your Wednesday, perhaps. And also Thursday. And also every day. Have a good every day. Hope every day is good. Not just the days that I mention specifically. But every single day. Not even just these days. Even the days in the past. You know, past days even applies retroactively to the past. That's good. And now I sit here. Now I sit here waiting for that raid to go. And it will go. It will in fact go eventually. But when? That's the question, is when? Now. Soon. I will now stop talking. Goodbye. Goodbye.